Hi everyone, I'm Tim Riley with Angel Tarot Readings by Tim. Thank you so much for joining me our first week of 2018, January 1st through January 7th. And I hope that all of you had a wonderful 2017. I know it was kind of a wild and crazy ride, don't you think? 2017, when you add that up, that gives you a 10. That is the Wheel of Fortune in Tarot. And that wheel can go up, it can go down. And we saw a lot of that happening last year. One of the things, well, for example, like the weather. The weather, I've never seen so many, especially with the wildfires in California on the West Coast, my gosh, and hurricanes and earthquakes. It just seemed more and more of that happening. And especially with the Me Too movement. That was a shift of power and energy that was brought into the light. So, that's, what I was talking about last week when I drew this card, and I'll show it to you again so that you can see it and try and get that up close. But this was the scales. I'm trying to not get the glare here, guys, sorry. But this was about truth, okay? And that's what 2018 is going to be all about, is justice, truth. This is about detaching. It's about balance. So when we get into this whole energy for 2018, keep that in mind as you move through that. Last year was about bringing light into the darkness. And we're starting to see that. And I'm going to tell you, especially with 2018, I do feel like the judicial system is going to be working definitely overtime. They're going to be quite busy. I think we're going to see a lot more of that in this year. This is also going to be one of those years where I feel that everybody's going to be on heightened sensitivity. So watch yourself around your relationships. Because 2018 is 11. That's a master number. That breaks it down into two. Twos are about partnerships, relationships. It's also a very intuitive number. So your intuition may be firing on all cylinders. So listen to your gut instinct. If something doesn't feel right in a relationship or just in general, listen to it. And you're going to feel a lot more of that as you get into this year. Working with other people is going to be a major player for us this year as well. As we take a look at, again, these scales, this is about what's out of balance here and what isn't fair, because the Justice card, and that's what 11 in tarot. Now, some of you will say that 11 is strength, and I do agree with that as well. But I was always taught that 11 was justice, so I'm sticking with that. There's nothing wrong if you want to go with strength, that's fine. But for me and this reading, it is going to be about fairness and justice. This is going to be about putting those scales back in more of a balanced state. So one of the things that you're going to need to do is to move through this year and take a look on a conscious level of what's out of balance. It could be work, it could be home, it could be relationship, and what's weighing that scale down. So perhaps maybe you're spending too much time at work, and this is a time where we need to step back and put our energy back more into some of those other departments, as work, relationship, making sure everything's in balance. This is also going to be where we may need to, again, with partnership, asking for help and also delegating. So what I mean by that is, if something seems so impossible for you to accomplish, don't try and do it by yourself. Ask for help. And on the flip side of that coin, this is also about taking back your personal power as it relates to relationships. What is out of balance that maybe you've been taking care of that some other individual could take care of themselves? Give that back to you. Give that back to that individual. It's detaching. It's giving them back the responsibility. And that gives you and frees up more energy for your own self. Okay? So that's going to be what 2018 is going to be about. Just remember, for every action, there's a reaction. So, that's kind of the motto for this year. So take a look at diet, exercise, nutrition, work, relationships, and make needed adjustments. So that's 2018. Relationship oriented. It's going to be intuitive, and I'm going to tell you, I almost kind of feel when we get into May or June of this year, there's going to be, a spirit showing me that there's going to be some type of major shift. There's going to be a news announcement of some sort that's going to bring much light into the darkness that we've been facing. I don't know what that is, but I was told May or June, so we'll see what that is, okay? So let's talk about the energy for January. Now, January of this year, before we get into the weekly forecast, this month for 2018 is going to be about observation and perspectiveness, okay? You may need to take a look at some things from a different angle. This is also going to be one of those where you may need to step back if things aren't working out the way that you'd like for them to. Now would be a time to kind of pull out those blueprints, take a look at, what is working, what isn't working, kind of modify the plans and make new adjustments. So it's going to be all about, taking a look at maybe doing things in a different light. Now, let's talk about the planetary stuff that's going on. We've got 2 full moons this month. And I will tell you, the first full moon is January 1st. It's a super moon. We have this full moon beginning on the first day of this year. Now, what do you think of when full moons occur? How are people? Crazy. Can be. But definitely heightened sensitivity. And because we have 2 of those in this first month, I almost feel like that bleeds through the whole year. So this is going to be, hold on, because it's going to be kind of a wild ride, just like last year was. But this is going to be about other people, and it's going to be about staying in your own yard. Okay? If you can just remember, you can't control other people, but boy, you sure can control how you react to those other people. That's what we need to focus on for January. This full moon on January 1st, again, is going to be balancing work and home, nurturing activities, and then also getting in touch with our emotions and feelings. You may actually have some emotions that have been suppressed surface. So this is going to be a good time for journaling and getting those feelings out. This full moon on January 1st is also a releasing. Now remember, we've got 2 full moons. So I'll talk to you about, again, later. I'll talk to you later about the one on the 31st. So we've got one at the beginning of the month and one right at the end of the month. So January is going to be very sensitive. Now we have a new moon on the 16th. And this is a moon where we can actually start planning and taking a look at what we want to draw in for 2018. So now would be the time to actually start dreaming about all of the things that you'd like to accomplish and what you'd like to draw in for 2018. Start thinking also about traditions that maybe you'd like to begin or create. And some of these traditions might be, once a month spending more time with family, or, once a month maybe having a lunch date with friends. Or, for example, like what I love to do is at the first of every month do a tarot reading for that whole month so I know what's going to occur and what energies are going to be coming in for that specific month. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Again, this is also what this whole month and this whole year is going to be about. Now, when we get to Wednesday, January 31st, this is a lunar eclipse. So this is our blue moon. And with this lunar eclipse, eclipses work in cycles. So we haven't had a full lunar eclipse, I think, since February of last year. So this is about releasing everything that's occurred from last February up until now. A lot of releasing energy for January, okay? So let's get into the weekly forecast, shall we? And this week I'm going to be working with the Spirit Oracle by Toni Carmine Salerno. I'm doing a live drawing here, so we'll see what's coming up. I've also drawn a chakra insight card and then also a crystal card from the Eternal Crystals. We'll see what these messages are. Oh, okay, not those. When they clump up like in 5, I usually like, nope, just give me one. Can I have, I want 3 specific ones. Okay, this gold one's looking right here. Okay, opportunity. And you know, when we're letting go, this is a great time since this is such a releasing month. You know, write your letters of what you want to let go of, go out and burn them. This one here. Faith. I think we're all going to have that for this year. I wish I could tell you that this is going to be an easy year, but I don't think it's going to be. I think it can be. Like I said, if you play in your own yard, you mind your own business, attend what you can control, and stop getting into other people's stuff. You know, that's the thing, is that we try and take on other people's, try and fix this, and oh, I'll help you with that. Now, yeah, I did say, you know, it's about venturing out and partnering with other people, but be smart about who you're partnering with, who you are helping. Because sometimes we help people that really they don't need the help. We're doing it for them. So it's really taking a look at who needs the help really and how I can better help you if you really do need it, okay? And this is joy, okay? So we've got opportunity, we've got faith, we've got joy. Now I want to also take a look at the chakra insight card. I pulled one, have it face down. Okay, dreams. This is messages, signs, symbols, and guidance. Now, what this means to me is that paying attention to your dreams. This is also, especially with this heightened sensitivity this month, that, you know, we may be more perceptive in remembering our dreams. So this is going to be a good month to start journaling. And I do feel that we are getting information while we are sleeping to help us when we do wake up to remember those, to help guide us through what we should be doing for this month. Again, this is also following your dreams. So this is not just for this week. I do feel like this is the message to get us started for the whole month. Now the crystal card, I have this one face down. This is, okay, black tourmaline, and this is smudging. Now, this goes with the sensitivity. If, you know, we're going to be around not only this week, but this month, and I do feel this whole year, you're going to want to smudge, trust me. This is going to be making sure that you are smudging on a regular basis. And if you're not familiar with what smudging is, whoops, let's see. Here, I've got some of this here. I'll try and knock everything over. This is a sage bundle. It's still packaged, but if you've never heard of smudging, you'll see these bundles in like your New Age stores. And essentially, you're taking this with, let me grab it, a shell, and you're lighting this and clearing the energy out of the room. Good idea to do that on a regular basis, especially this month. We'll get that later. With these full moons going on, this is a good time to kind of clear all of that old energy out. The black tourmaline helps you with that. So especially if you are feeling very sensitive, or if you've been around a situation, or you've overheard something that was, you know, very toxic, or if you've been in a room where people have been arguing, or whatever it may be, clear. It's a good idea to clear that energy. And this is clearing your home. Because remember, these moons, especially the beginning of this month, was about work and home. Now, I know you can't go and burn a sage smudge bundle at your office, although I know I would love to. It's a good idea to, I've got some spray, and that's a good idea to do that periodically, especially when you are around some negative people. Or when you find your own thoughts starting to get a little cloudy, you need a clearing. And that's what the black tourmaline will help you with. Now we've got the cards here, opportunity. And the back here, it says, live in the moment, let go of the past. Remember that. Let go of the past. There is no point worrying about the future. A wonderful opportunity exists for you today. Embrace it. This is about new opportunities. Again, smudging, letting go. If you are listening to this on January 1st, or frankly, even if it's the first week, do a clearing of 2017. That's one thing that I do like to do, is just kind of clear, let go, take a look at all of the things that you've learned for that specific year, and have gratitude for that, and then let that year go, and then welcome in the new for 2018. We have faith, and this one says there are no obstacles in your way. Follow your heart. The path is safe. The way ahead is clear. Have faith. Okay? And then we have joy. Now this is Kuan Yin. It says love and compassion. And this is how you treat other people as well as your own self. Because that was one of the messages that I felt for January, is that treat yourself and others with kindness, even though they may not be to you. Sometimes there's something going on beneath the surface that you're not aware of, and that was where that you may have to look at things from a different perspective as it relates to other people. So we do, in a way, sometimes take things very personally when, oh, I've been attacked, or, verbally attacked, and I blah, 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 blah. Well, you don't know what's actually going on underneath the surface of that other individual. So this is asking you to don't take it personally. Never take anything personally. If you can, just let it move through you, and that way really take a look at the underlying reason as to what's going on. Because it's not about you in most cases. When other people, have an outburst at you, chances are 99% of the time it's not you, it's what's going on with them. So this is love and compassion. It's a time for healing. You are being showered with love and light. Accept this gift. A newfound joy for life will replace your sadness. So we've got opportunity, we've got faith, we've got joy. And I really feel that this is, for a lot of us, creating those vision boards and New Year's resolutions of, what it is that we want to draw in for 2018, and being optimistic and having faith that everything is going to be moving in the correct direction. And it will, it will. And what I mean by that is law of attraction. If you feel you're going to have a bad year, you're going to have a bad year. But at the same time, you can't bury your head in the sand and think that the whole world is sunshine and lollipops when it is not. It's full of crazy. It's full of crazy. And the thing is that we have to maneuver through all of that and come out in one piece. So how we do that is by having faith, controlling what we can do, what we think, actions that we take. Because every action, there's a reaction, okay? So those are the messages, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me this week. If you would like a personal reading with me, you've got my information at the bottom of this YouTube message here. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye now.